It was a busy time for the small railway engines. The Christmas period was over, and the railway was once again reopened for business. This meant it was the busiest time of year for the wool and ballast traffic, but also for passengers.
Morning, wee Rex. Good to see you out and about again after the Christmas break.
Oh, it is good to be out and about again, Douglas. It's good and all to get a rest over the Christmas closure. Oh, but it's good to be welcome back with a healthy flow of work.
Aye, there'll be lots of passengers coming to your wee railway this year. The back control has rusted Dunny and me to help Duck and Oliver bring him to you.
Opening season is always the busiest for passengers. It's only a matter of time before old Mike starts being blighty old misery about the passengers again.
Oh, it must be a red engine thing. We Mike and James are almost alike, except James complains about taking your goods. Anyways, I must be off. Cheerio, Rex!
Cheerio, Douglas!
Rex was right. It wasn't long before Mike started complaining.
Passengers are such a horrid lot.
Gee, Mike, the bees have flown into your funnel a little early this year. What's your big problem with the tourists anyway?
They wander idly about stations like sheep in a daze, which means my trains are late leaving and they never arrive on time. We would be much better without them, if you ask me.
Fiddlesticks! If we didn't have passengers, I doubt our railway would survive.
We have the wool and ballast, don't we?
But people only need wool during the colder months. And what if the ballast company were to go under?
Still, I would much prefer to work with the ballast trucks than these holiday makers.
If that's the way you want it, Mike.
Good evening, Mr. Duncan, sir.
I could hear your boiler aching all the way from my office. I'm sure Frank would appreciate some help at the mines. Now, the Fat Controller has informed me that we are to expect more tourists this season than usual. You see, this will mark 50 years since the late Thin Clergyman's book on the small railway engines was first published, and people will want to see where the inspiration came from. So, you all must be at the top of your game. We've got no room for mishap.
The next morning, all the engines left for work, except Rex. His fire had already been prepared some time ago, but his driver was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, where are you, driver? I should have gone 10 minutes ago.
Sorry, Rex, but your regular driver's called in ill. Fred here will be acting as your relief for the meantime. He's recently completed his driver training and is keen to put what he's learnt to use.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Rex, let's get your wheels moving. We've got to train you out.
So when he was fired up, Rex left the shed to collect his coaches.
Morning, Rex. It sure is nice to take some regular passengers as well as the morning service train for a... Is something bothering you?
Call it engine's intuition. But I have my doubts about this new driver, Sigrid. He's only recently completed his training, and I'm not sure if he's able to handle things properly yet.
Good luck, Rex.
Rex's first journey of the day went without a hitch. He made up for lost time and was beginning to think his fears were unfounded, but it wouldn't last long. Whilst taking his second train, things began to go wrong. Rex began to feel the flow of water from his tender tank to his boiler was becoming less and less.
Driver, I think I'm beginning to run low on water. We need to have a top-up at the next tower.
Oh, stuff and nonsense, Rex. I'm sure we've got enough water to complete this journey. Now stop your boiler aching.
Oh, this isn't going to end well.
You won't have much time to rest, old girl. Control says that Rex's fire had to be dropped beyond the middle station. Afraid we'll have to go rescue the train.
Oh, Rex had his doubts about that driver. I guess his intuition was right after all. What happened here, Rex?
Oh, that dratted relief driver allowed my tender tank to run dry. I told him several times to stop, but no, he thought he knew better. First day on the job and they think they know it all.
Well, we best get these passengers home and get you back to the yards for inspection.
So, what's the damage, Jack?
It's worse than we anticipated, Martin. The overheatings caused extensive damage to Rex's boiler and firebox, and his crown stays are all but gone. We are lucky that the overheated metal didn't rupture. That could have been bad for both the driver and the passengers.
Can repairs be done in all workshops?
The damage is too extensive. However, I have contacted the Chief Mechanical Engineer at the Northwest Railways Works at Crovan's Gate. He has agreed to take on the task of Rex's repairs.
Oh, chin up, Rex. The men at our works will have you back in shipshape in no time.
In the days that followed Rex's departure, Mr. Duncan had to make hasty arrangements to keep things running smoothly. The Blister twins were drafted in to double-head Rex's passenger trains. They did the best they could, but they just couldn't keep up to speed. Mr. Duncan knew he had to make other arrangements, and indeed he would. But that's another story.